Hey y'all, we're McCraw's on the map, and today we're going to be exploring one of the least visited U.S. national parks, Lassen Volcanic. Strap in as we get ready to go and explore this park today.
We are visiting the park in early June. The park road is now open. It opened just a little bit ago, but some of the things in the park are still closed, like one of the most popular trails. So we're going to start our day at the visitor center to see what the rangers recommend us doing with our time, and we're going to go from there.
This is one of the only places in the world you can see all 4 types of volcanoes in one place. After talking with the ranger inside, we were able to see that the Dixie fire is what caused all this damage around the park. It burned approximately 1 million acres and was one of the biggest fires in California history and claimed about 70% of the park. So that's a crazy amount of fire that was burning at one time. And I can't imagine, well, I'm sure we'll see more fire damage as we explore today, but that is a huge amount of damage done.
The first stop along the park road is Sulphur Works, the park's most accessible hydrothermal area. We're just in the parking lot and can already smell the sulfur. Lassen is actually often referred to as a mini Yellowstone because of all of the different hydrothermal areas that are in the park. Bumpass Hell is the largest hydrothermal area in the park, but unfortunately the trail there is still closed this time of year because of snow, so we won't be able to see that. But when it is open, it's about a 3-mile long boardwalk that weaves through the hydrothermal areas, so you can get really close to them and see them. So bummed that we're missing that, but we will have to come back another time. The park road climbs elevation pretty steadily, so we do see a lot more snow as we get further into the park. Crazy that we were just at this boiling hot sulfur pool and now we are at a lake that is literally frozen.
How insane is it to be in California in June and to still have places like this that have snow and ice on the lakes? That's mind-blowing to me. Growing up in South Carolina all my life, I had no idea there were places like this that existed and still had snow in June. That's just mind-blowing to a southern boy that's never had this kind of snow accumulation before.
For how much snow there still is, I would expect it to be colder out here, but it actually feels really nice. It's about 70 today. We are at the parking area for the Bumpass Hell Trail to see if there's anything that we can see despite the trail being closed, but you can see how much snow there still is, so that is why the trail is closed, but disappointing. We can't see any of the thermal areas even from the overlooks, but this is a super pretty area with lots of snow-capped peaks.
Talk about a pit house toilet with a view. Woo.
Next stop is Lake Helen, and this is even more frozen over than Emerald Lake. And this is a massive lake too. It's super, super pretty with the ice. We are doing one of the few trails in the park that does not have snow on it, we hope. Kings Creek Falls, which starts at the very pretty Kings Creek and then goes through the meadow, and then you'll see a 30-foot waterfall. No snow on the trail, but lots and lots of wildfire damage. On the way back from the waterfall, you can take the same trail that you took to get out there, or you can take a slightly shorter but steeper trail that goes along the side of the river and up some steep steps, but you see several more pretty waterfalls and really gorgeous scenery. So definitely recommend the slightly shorter but steeper trail if you can manage the steps. The next stop is Devastated Area, which is just a short trail where you can walk and learn about the destruction of the 1915 eruptions of Lassen Peak. There were actually 2 eruptions in 1915, only 3 days apart. Our last stop is Manzanita Lake, which is a great, beautiful place to relax at the end of the day. Manzanita Lake also has another visitor center as well as a very large campground with camper store, laundromat, showers, lots of nice amenities, and there's also a museum here that you can learn about the area. Well, that wraps up our time in Lassen Volcanic National Park. We didn't have a lot of time here, but we had time to see the highlights and some really beautiful sights and places. If we had had more time in the park, we would have loved to also go to the Butte Lake area where there is the Cinder Cone volcano that you can actually hike up the volcano, and then from the top you can see the painted desert below, which is supposed to be really pretty and very cool. It is a somewhat strenuous hike, but it would have been nice to do if we had had the time. It also looked like it would have been really nice to kayak on Manzanita Lake. We saw several people putting in their kayaks or their little inflatable boats, and it looked super pretty. Of course, we also would have liked to do the Bumpass Hell Trail, but that is closed likely until mid-July sometime, maybe. That's when it typically opens, and then is open through October-ish when the snow starts falling. We really enjoyed our time in this underrated national park, and we hope that we have convinced you that it is worth adding to your bucket list.